When you know how to sew with denim, you can make jeans, overalls, skirts, bags, even a classic denim jacket. But picking out the right denim can really make or break your project. There's all kinds of terms. There's lightweight, heavyweight, bold denim. There's a lot to know. In this video, Haley's gonna show you everything you need to know about denim. She'll show you how to pick the right denim, choose your project, sew with it, and care for it so you'll be a total denim pro. All right, I'm gonna let Haley take it from here.
You love denim, I love denim. Let's talk about denim and how we can sew with it. So what makes denim denim? Denim is a yarn-dyed twill weave cotton. Let's break down some of those components. Yarn-dyed means that the yarn is dyed before it is woven into fabric. In denim, the warp, that's the length of grain, is dyed traditionally indigo, and then the weft, which is the cross grain, is left undyed or bleached. And this is what gives denim that signature variegated kind of look. A twill weave is a really strong but flexible weave that lends denim a lot of strength. In a twill weave, there are 2 to 3 warp threads for every single weft thread. And that's what gives denim that kind of signature diagonal rib that you'll see when you get really up close and personal with the fabric. The weight of denim is measured in grams per meter or in ounces per yard. So a lightweight denim is typically going to be anywhere from 4 to 6 ounces. A midweight denim is going to be 7 to 9 ounces, and a heavyweight denim is going to be 10 or greater. Let's talk about the different types of denim. First up, we have 100% cotton denim, and that sounds like exactly what it is. It is a denim made from 100% cotton. So this type of denim isn't going to have any stretch other than the manual stretch that the twill weave allows. So it tends to be a little bit stiffer, a little bit more robust. Next up, we have stretch denim. A stretch denim has an elastane content, so something like lycra or spandex, and that is going to give your denim a little bit of stretch to it. And this is what you'll find in most ready-to-wear denim. But the downside is that it tends to wear out more quickly. Next up, we have raw denim. Raw denim just means that the denim is left unwashed after the dyeing process. And this lends it a very stiff hand. Next up, we have washed denim. In contrast to raw denim, washed denim is washed after it is dyed. And this is to help avoid any dye bleeding and helps to shrink the fabric before it is then passed on to you or it is manufactured. The washing process also lends a softer hand to the denim. Wool denim has a 3x1 twill, so it has a more pronounced twill weave. This makes it a little bit stronger and a little bit sturdier. And lastly, we have selvage denim. Selvage denim is characterized by the clean finished selvage on either side of your denim fabric. It also tends to come in narrower widths, somewhere in the ballpark of like 24 inches. Oftentimes when sewing with selvage denim, the goal is to use that straight selvage edge as your side seam. And this has a couple benefits, mostly stylistic. When you cuff your jeans, you get that cute little pop of the selvage, and it is just a traditional kind of vintage look to your denim project. Because denim comes in such a wide range of weights, you can do so much with it. It works well for oversized projects, fitted projects, and pretty much anything in between. Generally speaking, your lightweight denims are going to work best for shirts, skirts, and dresses. This is because lightweight denim tends to have a little bit more drape to it. Midweight denim is going to be your most versatile denim. You can use it for jackets, pants, shorts, skirts, dresses, and even jumpsuits. Midweight denims have a more moderate body, which is what makes them the most versatile. Heavyweight denim has a really rigid body, which makes it best suited for pants, jackets, and overalls. Here are a couple of our favorite seamwork patterns for denim. First up, we have the Tessa jeans. This is a very classic straight leg jean that is perfect for 100% cotton denim. Next up, we have the Chelsea jeans. If you are in the stretch denim club, this is the project for you. It is a flared jean that utilizes stretch denim. Audrey is a classic style denim jacket. I highly recommend it, and we have a sew along, so definitely check that out. Rhett is a beginner-friendly chore coat that has cute oversized pockets. And we also have a sew along for Rhett taught by yours truly. The bud pattern is a shacket that's perfect for lightweight to midweight denims. And we also have a sew along for Bud. And lastly, Leonora. Leonora is a short, straight cut skirt that buttons right up the center front. It's really important to pre-wash your denim to avoid any shrinking or any bleeding. Luckily, caring for denim is really straightforward. When you're pre-washing your denim, you're going to wash it on warm, separately from other laundry, because it's gonna bleed some dye, and then you can tumble dry on warm. And if you feel like there's still a lot of excess dye when you're touching it, you can go ahead and repeat that process a couple times to get out any remaining dye. Now let's talk about cutting and prep. Denim can be a little bit tough to cut, and because of this, you are either going to want to use your sharpest fabric shears or a fresh rotary blade. If you're working with particularly heavyweight denim, you can switch to cutting single layer to help make cutting a little bit easier. Denim comes in a variety of washes and colors. Make sure that you're using a contrasting chalk pencil. I like to use water soluble just to make sure that all of my markings go away after I'm done. Because of its twill weave, denim has a little bit of mechanical stretch to it, even if you're working with 100% cotton denim. Because of this, I like to use an interfacing that also has a little bit of stretch. I like to use a fusible knit interfacing when I'm sewing with denim. All right, let's talk about sewing our denim. When constructing your denim garment, you're gonna wanna use an all-purpose polyester sewing thread. For all of your top stitching, you can switch to a top stitching thread. Just make sure that when you're doing that, you're using an all-purpose thread in your bobbin. This is because using a top stitching thread in your bobbin is just too bulky, and it's gonna lead to a really loopy and kind of loose finish on your stitching. When picking out a needle, you might notice that there are specific denim needles, and you can definitely use those, but what's most important is just picking a size needle that corresponds to the weight of your fabric. So for your lighter weight denims, you can use a 90 needle. For your heavier weight denims, you can use a 100 or 110. Universal is gonna work just fine if you can't find a denim needle in the appropriate weight. The size of the needle is what matters more. Here are a couple tricks for dealing with the thickness of denim when you are sewing. My first tip is to make sure that you're bumping up that stitch length. I like to use something in the ballpark of 3 millimeters, but you'll want to take a test swatch and kind of play around with that and see what works best for the denim you're using. Getting your presser foot to jump over bulky seam allowances can be a little bit challenging when you're sewing with denim. What I like to use is a little tool called a hump jumper, and this helps your presser foot to lay flat so it can sew over those bulky seams a little bit easier. You can also use a pad of Post-its to help you with this if you're in a pinch. It can also be really helpful to use your hand crank when you are going over particularly bulky points. For a factory finish on your denim project, you can use a serger to finish those seams. I like to use gold comb thread for that really professional contrast look. You can also use an overcast stitch on your domestic machine as well for a similar look. If you're wanting to make a really high-end finish, you can use a flat felled seam or even a faux flat felled seam to get that cool top stitch effect. We have a tutorial for both of those seam finishes, so be sure to check that out in the link below. When it comes to closures, you're gonna wanna opt for something pretty heavy duty for denim. I like to use metal zippers, snaps, and tack buttons. A nice wide hem allowance is going to help you combat any bulk. I like to use 3/4 of an inch or greater. When pressing your denim, be sure to use a high temperature cotton setting and be sure to use plenty of steam. I also like to use a clapper to help me set my seams after I've pressed them. A mallet can also be used to help you really compress seams, belt loops, hems before sewing. Once you have completed your denim project, all that is left to do is wear it and then eventually, hopefully, wash it. Luckily, washing your denim is super easy. You can go ahead and just launder inside out, wash it on a warm setting, and then you can hang dry to prolong the lifespan of your denim garment. I hope you found this really helpful and you use some of these tips in your next denim sewing project. We have a couple of these guides coming up, so be sure to let us know in the comments below what fabric you would like to see us cover. See you next time. Happy sewing!